what to do. Nice to see you at the Isle of Roux. We have Theo joining from his studio and Kelly joining from her studio. And Rich and I here from our kitchen table studio.
It's not a kitchen table, it's
the island.
theater.
The Creator gifted us with this land that we are blessed to share and care for together. We acknowledge that the land we gather on, Mokinstis, is the ancestral territory of the Siksika, Sitipi, the Siksika, the Gaina, the Pikani, and the Amskapi Pikani. We acknowledge all First Nations and Métis of Treaty 7 lands, the Sutena, the Ithkabi, which includes Bearspot, Chiniki, and Goodstony. We commit to advancing reconciliation guided by truths, respecting treaty laws, and humbly walking alongside First Nations, Métis, and Inuit. We recognize all who live, work, play, and make art on these lands and who now call this place home. So nice to get together with everyone tonight.
It is.
There's
Yay!
There's a lot going on in the world. We have our Christmas tree up.
We're actually late this year. Most years we kind of have our tree up by about...
Usually it's in October before Halloween. We had a whole bunch of Halloween decorations. It was our Halloween Christmas tree. Because Felix really loved both. He loves Halloween because of his birthday being in October.
Mm-hmm.
So we always had a hybrid. We had pumpkins and... This one's pretty Christmassy, this tree this year. We still have skulls. Different things.
Well, skulls are good Christmas, aren't they?
I think so.
Especially if they got, blinking red eyes.
Yeah. Like the death of the old year and the rebirth of the new year. And I like that. Scott K is here. Hi, Scott K.
So you're making some clay tonight?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to make a labyrinth for my fingers to play with.
I see. I think you've said that a few times, and I did not know what you were talking about.
This is very exciting. So there's lots of different...
Would it be worth our while to switch spots tonight and you put your hands in front of the camera?
Well, I don't want to bang on the table.
Yeah, but if you're the hands on the camera, then I have to stay off your table.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's more about the respect of the table too.
You don't want to mess up the table.
Because this is already, I have my clay on this table and it's nice.
That's fair.
I will show my progress. So the labyrinth is kind of like a meditation place, and in the basements of very old churches and different spaces, they paint different labyrinthine patterns in the basement of different places of worship. And the idea is, like, when you're walking those lines, you're able to reflect on different things. And I think Richard from Illinois bought one of the embroideries I made of the labyrinth. His partner Terry was a pastor. He was a teacher. And I think we're talking about those things. And then I was watching that one, I like listening to this one woman. She's a preacher. I think she's from Toronto, Eastern Canada. And she's very inclusive, and she's always kind of addressing things that very dogmatic people in certain faith groups kind of get wrong, that alienate people. And so she's really inclusive and really lovely, and I like listening to her. And she had this one episode where she was talking about her artwork on her walls. And she had this beautiful piece of ceramic on her wall, and it was a labyrinth. And she was talking about something else, but I saw the labyrinth and I was like, that is brilliant, because I've drawn labyrinths a million times. I've embroidered labyrinths a lot, and I liked playing with the embroidery with my thumb, but I've never made an clay piece that you could trace the pathways with your finger. And I thought that was really a lovely idea, because after you glaze it and everything, it's such a beautiful texture. That would be a really tactile, lovely thing. So I'm just currently flattening out my clay into a circle. And there's lots of different patterns for labyrinths, but I'm going to stick with the one I always do because I feel a kinship to it. I like the balance to it. I think you're right. I think that what you were saying about, because I was asked by one of my students, it was really sweet, just like, if you had infinity anything, what would you do? This is what I would want to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I did say I would work on a big tapestry with like infinity mythologies woven together, kind of like the Bayeux tapestry, but not a battle.
Right.
And just keep plugging away at that, because I do like giving myself really like big projects, and then to plug away at it every day is like really, really fun.
Mm-hmm.
But so I have been missing that, maybe like having one big project to plug away at.
Mm.
But this is what I was very excited all week to sit down and do this with the clay. So Amanda's here. Amanda, was it last week that Zach showed us his tour of Japan?
No.
2 weeks ago?
In this lifetime.
I have no concept of time. But anyways.
I think it's longer than
a week?
I think it's longer than a week. I know that much. I don't know how far back.
So Amanda was I think in the spring you went to Japan, and now Zach's there. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, don't make it too perfect yet, because I'm going to be carving into it. So.
Well, there's 5 people with us.
Wow. Drop us a note. Tell us what you're working on.
So that's pretty interesting, because on my Facebook page, we get about 160 people watching.
Mm-hmm.
On YouTube, there's less. On YouTube, there's usually about 5 people watching during the broadcast.
Yeah.
Just on the YouTube. Yeah. During the Instagram broadcast, we get about 50 people watching. By the end of the week, there's between 10,
Between 10 and 15,000.
yeah, between 10,000 and 15,000, which is crazy. And most of those people, I'm assuming, aren't watching the whole thing, but enough to get recorded by the metrics. And it's crazy how like many people are watching versus how many people it feels are watching.
Okay. I like that it feels like just a visit in a living room.
Right. But like when we zone out and I think, oh, it's okay, I'm zoned out because there's not very many people here. And then it's like people are going to watch
Mm-hmm.
and then they're going to know that we zoned out.
Oh, but we're people that zone out and then we zone in and we zone all over the place. There's many zones. Fun. Yeah, he was walking around kind of like a shrine and he was showing us beautiful sculptures and so lovely.
I think my wife is making me coffee. Seems awfully traditional, like a Fred Flintstone moment, like Wilma.
I wanted to make myself a tea. Get a coffee.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Puffy.
Oh,
Puffy.
okay. Okay. Here she goes.
Theo,
Yo.
what was the most important part of your day today?
The most important part. Well, I had a call from ARCS, the animal adoption agency, and I might be getting 2 elder kitties in my house.
Oh.
7-year-old and a 9-year-old. And they've got a nice story behind them. They had been the kitties that lived with the person who called me, her father. And he just recently passed at 90. And his wife, unfortunately, has fallen quite ill, and she can't return to the house again. So this lady had taken the two kitties back into Ark's care, and yeah, it looks like I came along at the right time, maybe. So I think this is good. 7 and 9, they're supposedly they're a bonded pair, so this is nice too. And they're both indoor kitties, so they're not going to freak out when I never let them out. So yeah. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe I won't make the grade. I don't know.
No. That would be.
But they sound like pretty good kitties. So I'll start filling out the forms and make an arrangement to go and visit them maybe this weekend. I don't know. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is. But and then I think that qualifies for me as the
for sure.
The most exciting. I had a couple of other incidents, but that one was the most exciting. So,
I like that. There you go.
you go.
I love that.
What about you guys?
Oh, every day's a circus when you're a teacher.
I know. Every day's a circus, but
I'm just thinking about like something that stands out as really positive. I think. Oh, you know what? I had reason to show one of my classes Inside Out too, and because it was all queued up, my other class is working on Christmas cards, and it seemed prudent to just let them watch Inside Out 2 while they're making Christmas cards, and that was pretty nice.
What's the premise of Inside Out or Inside Out 2? I'm not familiar with that.
They're Pixar films, and they really focus on puberty and development. So
brain development.
The characters in the films have personas in their minds.
Personified feelings.
Yeah, so there's a team of feelings in everybody's mind.
Ah, okay.
Now, there are some like plot flaws that really stick out. Like in the first film, you had anger, joy, sadness, and
disgust.
Right. And so did each of the characters. So the adult characters had the same 4 driving forces, and then the but almost like there'd be the same sort of like there'd be a red short square one, and then for each character they would have their own version of the red short square one, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the second film, the main character hits puberty and she gets another set of characters.
Oh.
However, it's not until the second movie you realize how come there was now those characters in the other people's heads.
Mm-hmm.
Like the mom or dad. Like what?
Why didn't the mom have 20 characters in their head, right? So, and I just thought of that right now.
Well, what's interesting actually? Maybe they settled back down after having all like we don't have ennui in our brain all the time as adults.
I do.
No, you don't.
I do right now.
You're not bored. You're never bored.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just kidding.
I was just laughing.
Shut your gob. There was a moment when I was teaching in a French school, which is funny because I don't speak French. And that's just the way your life goes sometimes when you're a teacher. And I asked the kids, like, oh, teach me some French. So each day they'd tell me, like here's what I like. I'd like you guys to be a little bit quiet. Can you teach me how to say that? And the kids are like, ferme la bouche. And I'm like, okay. And then my principal, who is French, walks in and I go, hey, check this out. Ferme la bouche. And all the kids are like, no. Because they weren't even against me. They were just being funny in that particular moment of space and time.
Yes.
So I had to break the habit of saying, would you please be quiet that way? Theo, do you like to read books?
I love to read books.
What are you reading right now?
Unfortunately, I don't have any at the moment.
Well, I'll bring you some. I'm just finishing Hail Mary, which is a space book.
Oh, yeah?
It's the same author as The Martian,
Oh, yeah.
and I think they're making a film with. I almost called Ryan Gosling Matthew Modine. There's a generation slap in the face, but I think there's a movie coming out, and
Based on it. Eric Weir, was it? Or
the last name sounds correct. I can't remember if that's the right first name, but I
me
think
either.
absolutely close enough. And yeah, we're just finishing. Jess and I are reading the novel together. We're just finishing it right now, and it's pretty exciting and fun.
Cool.
And
Yeah, I liked The Martian. I read that, and then I saw the movie, and the movie wasn't bad, but it was not nearly as interesting as the book.
I would say that I found the movie of The Martian to be pretty bang on to the book. Like sometimes they're
Well,
not.
it carried all of the major aspects of it. Yeah, no, totally. But I just like the book better. But then again,
Another book I found to be really quite close to the or the film that was quite close to the book was they didn't seem to leave very much of the book thief out. I wonder if like there are book authors that are just savvy enough to write a book just long enough to be a movie. Like if I do any,
yeah, there could be, and then again, they write it so precise and concisely that making a screenplay on it is a piece of cake.
yeah.
I'm just trying to think of a book that I've read that I watched the movie and
The movie was
didn't have anything to say that they missed or whatever, but that requires a functioning memory, and that's something.
How about a book that wasn't as good as the movie?
I'm trying to think
I got one.
of that, but no book has ever that I've read that I've watched the movie afterwards. I'm pretty sure that would have stuck with me. So what's yours?
Breakfast at Tiffany's was actually a pretty boring book, and I liked the movie better, probably because of George Peppard and
Audrey
Hepburn.
I was going to say Audrey Hepburn for me, but,
However,
I can't remember if I've ever seen the movie.
Under the caveat that Mickey Rooney was offensive and ruined it for everybody.
Oh, that was probably his job, though, wasn't it?
Mickey.
No. Okay.
Not sure. I'm not sure I can support his performance. I think it was a sign of the times. I would say it probably didn't. The intention probably wasn't malicious.
Mm-hmm.
Though it appears to the modern eye that it was absolutely malicious. But I think that they probably just thought they were being cute.
Yep, exactly. I mean, what passed for not just acceptable, but laugh acceptable in the 40s and 50s nowadays is all cringeworthy. So,
Yeah. I clearly was reading this book on the way back from Los Angeles.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Hooper.
Hoopa. Oh, okay.
Oh, I shouldn't have.
Yeah, you're right. So this is actually a departure slip from the school trip that I took to the Getty. And why I have Hooper's pass ticket, I don't know. I probably found it
On the floor or something.
Yeah. In the airport, like, you're going to need this. And then she didn't. Okay, so great job, guys. Theo, I had to rewrite all my favorite photographers.
Oh, I know that. You mentioned that on one or two shows ago. Yeah. And you posted a picture of maybe it was the first one that you developed
Yeah.
with the new camera. It was a street scene in downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before you print, do you do up what do you call it? You know, a whole you expose all of the negatives once what size to size on a sheet, and what do they call that?
I think we've misled you. We're
Oh.
not printing the photographs. What we're doing is
We're not there yet. We're developing.
we've developed the film,
Yeah.
and then from there
Well, you're scanning.
and then that's just stuff of a printer. What
Yeah.
you probably saw was just straight up the scan.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Is that what you were asking?
But no. I just remember I was when I was doing camera stuff and film, I'd always get it's like a proof sheet of all of the things, and then you decide which ones you wanted to print. You know, tell the shop to print.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
What we have been doing is roll a film, develop it, and then
Scan the negs.
What?
Mhm. Scan the negs.
Yeah, but look what I got. Can you get me a negative?
You got a
There's some-
nega scanner.
Well, it doubles as a slide scanner here in the
Yep.
top.
Yeah.
And then here.
Yeah, I got a friend that gave me a really old one. It's about 20 plus years old. It's not a slide scanner though. It's strictly a film scanner.
Yeah, is it possible that it's more than 20 years old?
Probably. It could very well be. Yes.
Mine. I used to have one that was my grandpa's. It was probably in the 70-year-old range.
Mm. Yeah, I've got a slide scanner again. Yeah, it's hugely old too.
I just put this in the ink. That was silly.
But it doesn't.
The disc cards.
Yeah.
Can I get it? Help me.
Yes.
What do you do? Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So
You did exactly what I was trying to not do.
fearlessly, I was like, "Oh, I'll just throw this over there."
Yeah, but the carpet.
No.
Okay, where's the other slide that we just had? Where are the slide sheets?
Here.
I don't think this will show very well. Okay, it shows well enough. So here's a slide. Okay.
Yep.
Wait, where's my camera?
Mm-hmm.
Back to where it was. Okay, and if I hold it really still, I might get a look at it. And then what I can do with this slide is on my phone here, this is my phone. I can click on this Kodak app and I can go, this is a black, is this color? Yeah, it's color negative. And I can line that baby up. And now I can see the slide. This takes a lot because my camera's way lower than I.
Mm.
I'll take a picture and I'll show you what it looks like.
That I think I'd want a tablet to do that on a regular basis.
We have a
Or if you could, like all of my equipment is so old, the Kodak app wouldn't even work with it. So
no, the app app can work with anything. Look at it's the Kodak app can work with my hand. See, hold on, close.
uh-huh.
See, it's just whatever's in front of it.
Oh, so you're actually taking a picture of the image on the slide projector.
Yeah, and we do have
okay.
about not reversed, which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a fantastic way to decide which slides we want to scan because
Well, yeah.
the difficult part is our scanner is a flatbed, but it's very slow. So we're scanning at like 3200 dpi.
Just sitting there watching the.
It takes 11 minutes to do all the scans, and we're doing probably.
Yeah. Well, at 3200, I can remember doing that for just a a line drawing on a Macintosh back in the day.
3200 DPI scan.
No, if it had the power to do a 3200 DPI scan, it would probably still be working at it 35 years later.
Right.
I love that. Just taking his time.
Because basically it was so slow, you'd start one and you'd go away and do some household chore or whatever, or just work on another job because it took a while. Like it was, you're talking, half an hour, 15 minutes, maybe. What was the size?
Yeah. Do you remember those 100 megabyte discs that were like super fat discs? They were
just, I've got a bunch of them. What do you call them? Hang on. My brain doesn't remember stuff that old. Here we are, the honorable zip drive.
Let me see.
Ta-da!
Yeah,
I love it. Like, yeah, one of those.
I've got a box of those as well. With
and it's an emergency boot disk 9.1. That's on it. And then they eventually came out with a 1 gig drive that was the same thing. And of course I have that as well.
I had most of my work, maybe I'd be using about 1 or 2 of those a day in the 90s. And then I got my first toaster that I could burn discs.
Yep.
And that was the brand for Mac, right?
Yep.
Disc burner was called a toaster.
Yeah, toaster. Mm-hmm.
Did you have a toaster?
I have toast. It's always been. I always think of it as just toast. But yeah, I've run through all of the iterations.
Correct. It might have been toast and not toaster. I bet you
I think it might have been. But yeah, I know what you mean. And that's that was it still is. I mean, my the machine that I'm running is 2010 and it's running Capitan 1011. So it's old, but even on I think on this the laptop that I got here, I think I've got a version of Toast on it. Got to have an external though to plug it into.
Is it a novelty on your part that you use this really old equipment, or what is the drive? Is it recycling? What's your?
Oh, it's the fact that the software that's on it is Creative Suite 5.5, which is basically, for all intents and purposes, the last one you could buy from Adobe.
Yeah.
And I don't need all of the other stuff that the following iterations of Photoshop and Illustrator and all that have. I don't need that. I don't need all of the little smart tools that are in it because nothing I'm doing has to be done on a deadline.
Right.
And I don't mind taking my time, removing blemishes and stuff like that if I so desire.
I actually had that thought on the way to work this morning, is that I currently pay for a subscription to Adobe, but it's not that painful because I'm a teacher and I get the entire suite for I should look and see if I need the whole suite because I'm not really using Illustrator anymore. I wonder if I can get it for less. But as a teacher,
that was my first Adobe product, Illustrator 88, which gives you a hint of when it came out.
Yeah, no, I remember when I was using Illustrator, I quite liked it. And then Photoshop was kind of out of my price range. So I got pretty good at working with the vectors because I couldn't afford the Photoshop. And then I remember Photoshop 3. I'm not sure if I had Photoshop 2. I stopped using Adobe Illustrator when I started becoming really proficient at Macromedia Flash, because I found that Flash was a lot more intuitive for my vector files, and by the time I was done designing, even illustrations in Flash, I would often just take the finished image into Illustrator and have it run some cleanup, and it would simplify my problems, simplify curves and stuff, and then I would end up with much faster work. And so I, near the end of my graphic design career, I absolutely gave up on Adobe Illustrator, and I just used Flash and Photoshop. And then, of course, Adobe bought Flash and just changed it into something else.
Well, I mean, Flash was always considered the process for video more than anything else.
Yeah, I sure liked it as an illustration tool.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the tools were, see, I like to sort of I like to draw with Illustrator. I can draw with mouse, right? So a lot of people that were using Illustrator would tend to use it with like the pulling the vectors and getting good at bending the arcs, and I can see it a better suit for somebody that was interested in drafting. Because I learned how to draw with a mouse, which is my theory why I can draw with an Etch-a-Sketch, because I was a little kid and I had an Etch-a-Sketch just like anybody else, and I didn't play with it because it made me angry. And then
but you didn't break it. Way to go, Rich.
Well, then I picked it up in my mid-20s because
Yeah.
I was cleaning out my toy room at my parents' house. Went back to visit my parents and clean up my toy room, and I found the Etch-a-Sketch and I thought, oh, I remember this. I used to hate this. And I started turning the knobs, and I found I could draw as well with an Etch-a-Sketch as most people can draw with a pencil. And I was like, where did this skill come from? And I used to work in a cafe, and I would sit and do doodles with my Etch-a-Sketch, and people would come in and marvel at it. And there's certain things that people say all the time. I was talking to a friend of mine about this at work. If I open up in any social media and somebody makes a comment that I don't agree with, I can almost immediately click on their link and see the same three things pop up. I'm going to see, well, now I see stuff for Daniel Smith. I will see several iterations of Remembrance Day. I'll see something about the Broncos, and sometimes a blue line reference. And so, I mean, I'm quite passionate about supporting our the soldiers that kept our freedoms. But there's something about the kooks that really lash out at people like me that really celebrate Remembrance Day hard. And I was trying to follow those patterns. How did I start this? What was I talking about?
Vector graphics?
No,
Etch-a-Sketch?
more recently. Yeah, the Etch-a-Sketch. There's because there's certain sort of patterns you see out of people.
Yeah.
There is a pattern I will see out of people that want to hurt my feelings when I'm drawing. And one of the patterns is like you're drawing anatomy and somebody will walk up and they'll go, oh, you must have memorized all the body parts. And like, I don't know why you need to reduce what I'm doing right now to just
memorization.
Right. And then, or the other thing they'll often say is, oh, I have a brother that draws, but he never did anything with it. I've heard that line 20, like if you wear glasses and somebody goes, can I try your glasses on? It's like people can't put your glasses on their face without saying, whoa, you're blind.
You're so blind.
And I'll say this to the kids in my class and they'll marvel like, yeah, why do people always say this? It's like somehow every kid on the planet made the same machine gun noise, whether they've ever heard a machine gun before. Somehow every kid on the planet makes the same broom broom noise for a car. And you know what? If you hurt yourself in English, you say ouch. If you hurt yourself in Spanish, you say ay. And but everybody laughs the same. And for some reason, when you want to hurt an artist, you say something stupid like, oh, you must have memorized that. And I remember over and over again, people would come up to me and look at my Etch-a-Sketch and they go, oh, you must have spent a lot of time learning how to do that. I was like, I can see why you'd say that, but the truth is I don't know why I know how to do this. And I'm sick of you saying that. Like it was a thing that bothered me. I hated hearing it. I grew to hate hearing it.
Yeah. Well, when people encounter something that they don't expect, they bring up what's the term?
something comfortable.
Almost
They
like
bring up something comfortable, something banal.
minimizing it or something like
Mhm.
that.
I don't even really understand how it minimizes it though. Like I don't like I know it bothers me.
Or maybe, like you said, just something comfortable to them so they can maybe connect. Or
I
is
don't know.
it like earnest? I
I don't know. It's attached to something. There's a reason why it keeps happening,
don't know.
right?
Well, that's the result of our social world.
Somehow I know if somebody
We are constantly exposed to repetitive patterns
yeah.
in media, and nowadays those repetitive patterns are in millionfold.
Mhm.
And yeah, so what pops out though is probably the strongest one relevant to whatever the person's talking about. Because again, and I'm guilty of it. What's the term? Open mouth, or from brain to mouth, and completely bypass logic and control. I don't know, but yeah.
My mom called it foot and mouth disease. Is that what we're talking about?
Or
Yeah,
no.
that's
And then now there is a foot and mouth disease, but I think it's a different thing.
There's hoof and mouth disease.
What?
There's hoof and mouth disease.
For you. Sorry. That was way out of line.
Did
Everybody at home.
clip them with your heels.
Did I let my cloven hooves show?
Yeah, everybody at home thinks I burned her, but in truth, she wants to be a goat.
I am a goat.
I
Here,
really,
look, I'm starting, or kind of getting close, but this is my labyrinth. And I'm going to make it so my fingers or pencils maybe a pencil could fall.
I thought of something that I'm going to do with you this weekend.
Nice.
I'm going to watch Pan's Labyrinth because you talk about it all the time.
No, we watched it not far ago.
I don't know what it's about.
It was really sad.
Did we turn it off?
Yeah.
Were we drinking?
No.
Was I there?
Yeah.
Fargo the TV show?
No.
Fargo the movie.
Pan's Labyrinth.
Fargo was supposed to be funny, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Sometimes I don't get the joke.
I mean, I found humorous things in it, but overall, it was kind of sad and tragic. At least the movie, that's what I found. I've watched the first season of Fargo, and that pretty much followed that tragic trope. I tried watching the second season, and it sort of jumped the shark for me, so I stopped watching. And what it's now, 6 or 7 years down the road, they're in.
I don't know. Never seen it.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
It's the lady from
Film it in Alberta. Provides money for good folks in IATSE and actors and all of that good stuff. So I'm all for it. Whether the stories are any good, I have no idea anymore. But it's made it for 7 seasons or 6 seasons. So
Wow.
there must be a few people that like it.
We just watched Mad Men for the last time.
Oh yeah. What season, or how long did it go?
7 seasons.
Is that right? Well,
Yeah.
again, I didn't stop watching it because I disliked it. I think I stopped watching it because I just stopped getting cable. But it used to be on AMC or one of those channels like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched pretty much the first season, and I thought it was okay.
I really loved it.
Okay. Well,
But I used to work in advertising, and I think
there you go. You were related soul. I just remember the one of the main characters was he was a guy that came back from the war as someone else. He'd adopted their identity. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought was that's a pretty good take.
I just struck the table really
No,
bad.
you didn't.
No, I did.
Oh, wow.
Where's the wipes?
I'm impressed.
Pshaw. Are you getting the...
What?
Okay. It's because I got extra gum Arabic.
Gum Arabic. Ooh.
It's extra gummy.
Ooh.
It's an interesting mess I made. Normally this comes off.
Oops.
Maybe we'll have a blue spot on the table.
We'll remember this day forever.
We sure will.
Woo!
More time.
You need help?
I need help one more
Yes.
time.
What do you need?
I need some rubbing alcohol.
Okay.
Living alcohol or rubbing alcohol?
Guess. Guess what I need.
Living?
Did he say living?
I don't know.
I just need
No,
some,
I said living alcohol
like for living with.
as opposed to rubbing alcohol. The
Oh,
living alcohol, I think you can drink and not die. The rubbing alcohol, if you drink it, I think you do die, or at least you get very sick.
I don't want to die.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. Me either.
Can I have a? Where's the paper towels?
Beside you, I think.
Oh nope. We are there. Is it on the screen?
No, it's just off.
What are you waiting to do?
I'm sitting. I'm gonna sit.
Have a
down.
seat.
Okay.
You look like you're about to.
I was
help me.
actually just watching
No.
because you're interesting.
Yeah. Okay. You look like you're about to dive in and help me.
No, I like watching.
This is a brand new part of our table. I'm remarkably impressed why that particular smear is so different than all the other smears.
Well, there you go.
Understand
smear.
that's staying there forever.
Hey.
Do you ever put stuff aside thinking you'll do something with it and then forget about it, and then 10 years later you discover it?
You mean like art?
Yeah, art, stories, yeah, stuff like that.
Not so much.
Wow. Okay.
How about you?
I've been painting for 10 years and I have nothing.
Well, I
2,700 paintings to keep the gallery open, and now they're starting to pile up in my living room. So maybe in the future.
you'll something will fall in. Well, I got this. I don't know how well you can see it, but
Oh yeah.
this lovely little folded piece that you can stick things in on all of the sides, and I'm just using the inside now because I've stuck it into a book. So my friend down in California sent this to me, and she put a little note on it. This is 20 years old already, So she did it sometime in 1998, somewhere around there. And this on the other page is another piece that was in here, but it won't work when I fold it all together. So it's been consigned over here, and what's in it is a tiny little pencil and then a neat little book of sayings. And, anyway, so I got this from my friend in 2021, and I probably put it up in a place where I see it all the time, and I remember to do something with it, and then something else got put in front of it, and I just discovered it again. What year is this? Oh yeah, almost 2026.
That's so fun though.
And well, yeah, it's like that. And then earlier this week, I was looking on my desk by the computer. I say, "Oh, what's this?" There's a whole bunch of like pages, and I pull it out, and it's a notebook. And inside is a whole bunch of seasonal greetings poems that I wrote over the years as I was writing them, and stories and things like that. And one story, and scripts for my radio show when I was doing it. But anyway, there was one story in there that I wrote, and reading it, it's like reading it for the first time, and I'm going, oh shit, I really like this. Not a smidgen of memory about how when I wrote it, but it's got to be at least 10 years ago now. And anyway, the story is going to be in the next issue of seasonal greetings, and it sort of details some of the potential problems with procuring online services that perhaps you shouldn't procure.
Hmm,
Yeah.
that's exciting.
What are the services that you shouldn't procure?
We have to read the story.
You're going to have to read the story. It'll
Is
be
it
in
like-
my,
Is it like getting a haircut?
my newsletter, which you never read anyway.
What did you say?
The newsletter that he sends out all the time.
I'm kind of going through that right now. Is I needed some feedback on my book that I just finished, and you read my book right away, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
I did send my book to a few like literary friends that I was hoping to get some feedback from, and I consistently found that they weren't getting back to me. I also realized all of those same friends also wrote books that I have in drawers somewhere and never got back to. So I'm currently recognizing the damage I've caused.
There you go. I like that drawing that you're doing right now. No particular reason, I just like it.
Isn't it crazy how it's become a thing and it was completely random?
Yeah, no, that's totally.
It would fail as an abstract.
It's doodling, right, with a brush. That's how I look at it with my own stuff.
Well, I was using a ball.
Well, okay.
I used a marble and I was letting it roll around.
No.
And then I did this for one of my teacher friends when he was leaving, and then I was at the staff party, and I said, because at the time I had several steel balls that I was using to paint his picture. So I dipped my balls in the ink, and I created and I threw them down on the paper, and I started rolling them around on the paper, and I was explaining my process to the staff. They were just mortified, and I think they thought that I'm so naive that I didn't know that it was a double entendre. So I was like playing it up. They're like, "What kind of balls are those?" My balls are made of steel, my friends. Like,
yeah. That just brings back every time I see ball bearings of a certain size, I just go Steelies, because those were the best things to play marbles with when I was a kid.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you ever wonder if like somebody just like hosed us, that like the glass marbles were probably quite difficult to make, and then somebody just took a bike apart and came in with a bunch of metal ball bearings? Like,
if it was a good, it couldn't be too big, but if it was about maybe a quarter of an inch in diameter, something like that. Yeah, those things were wicked. You'd slaughter everyone in the playing marbles until someone else brought their steely, and then it was a battle to see who would get the other guy's steely.
How did you battle with marbles? I don't know if we were playing the same game.
Oh, well, it's just a matter of, you put a marble in, your opponents put marbles in the center, and then you try and knock them out. And if you knock it out, you get the marble.
It's like curling.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. I'd say curling's a little more subtle, but yeah.
we had a completely different marble process. And I don't even know if this is how people play marbles, but it happened one year. I was at St. Mark's School in Marlborough, and at the back side of the school, there was like 6 marble pads, which were just super smooth concrete surfaces about the size of a pool.
Wow.
And
you guys had marble pads. Ooh.
And so I think they've been there all along. And when I say 6, I might be remembering that wrong, because the entire school, okay, so in the span of about a week, the marble pads had always been there. No one had ever used them. We kind of wondered what they were for. And somebody must have brought in some marbles to play marbles on the marble pad. Mm-hmm. I think the school population was about 600.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think within a week, 596 of us were playing marbles. And there's only like 4 weird kids not playing marbles out on the field. And my mom was a teacher in that school. So she's like, the teachers were really marveling over it, because it wasn't marveling over the marbles. It wasn't organized in any way. It just spontaneously erupted this one year. Mm-hmm. And every kid in school brought in marbles, and it became like, when like Indiana Jones, where they're running through the markets.
Yeah.
The one side of the school became this authentic market of marbles.
Bizarre.
It was a bizarre situation. And all the kids were playing marbles. There's one day that I didn't play marbles, and I felt like a complete outsider. My mom had this philosophy of not buying me stuff. So I had like 6 marbles, and other kids were coming to school with like
Bag full.
60 marbles. This is how I met Paul Shreenan.
Oh.
Well, there's 2 ways I met Paul Shreenan. And one of the ways I met Paul Shreenan was it was in the spring, and I had 6 marbles, and I'd worked my way up to a bucket. Where's my hands? I can't see them. Oh, yeah, here, there. A bucket about this size. I think it was a coffee can, about 2/3 full of marbles. I probably had 700 or 800 marbles.
Mhm.
Paul was the other kid, and we were in the same grade. We're both in grade 4. And me and Paul each had close to 1,000 marbles, and the school population probably had about 10,000 marbles. So there's 2 kids that had a large chunk. And Paul kept trying.
What year was this? Roughly.
It was before Jesse was born, so I'd rather not say in case your mom
mid 70s.
No, mid 80s.
Mid 80s. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
So I had this bucket of marbles, and the way I got the marbles was kind of I'm not proud of. However, Paul had created a mafia racket for the marbles, so he was loan sharking kids' marbles. That kids would come into school, and he would loan them 5 marbles, but he had to get 10 back the next day.
Wow.
And so he ended up with his empire of marbles by like strong arming people into paying for the marbles that they owed him. He saw me as his threat because I also had a bucket of marbles, and I won this incredible from having like 6 marbles. I ended up winning an entire bucket full of marbles. And I actually really remember, for some reason, people used to use those Crown Royale bags for their marbles.
Yep.
But is that just a coincidence, or were they marketed that way? Like, here's
No, that was just a coincidence. It was a bag that could hold marbles, and the parents didn't need the bag anymore. Therefore, the kid got it.
Yeah.
I had mine wasn't a Crown Royal. It was just a blue bag that somebody had made and given to me.
Mine was a faulty Crown Royal, and it broke in the middle of the schoolyard. And I've seen this scene.
Well, then you had what's called a scramble.
I did, and it was one of the. It sticks in my mind as one of the worst. And I've seen it in a film. I can't remember what film, but I saw a kid walking through a playground. It looked just like my playground with a bag of marbles, and the marble breaks, and my marbles hit the ground and scattered everywhere. And I remember every single kid in school got up and scrambled after my marbles. Yep. I didn't even try to get one back. I was just devastated watching. I think I might have picked up 5 in my hand, and I just watched the rest get picked up. And I was like, this is inhuman. Like, all of these kids know that I just dropped these marbles, and there was like 600 kids putting them in their pockets, and there was no way to stop anybody because there's too many.
Yeah. That was. I just always remember that was a real thing at school when I was in Begbie, grade 1 to 6. It was called a scramble, and mostly it was done in 2 ways. If it was marbles, it was just you'd basically do just yell. You'd say scramble, and then you'd a bunch of kids would grapple around, and then you'd throw your marbles into the air a little bit, not hard, and let them bounce, whatever.
You would throw your marbles away?
And then the other one was the scramble was if it was trading, sports cards, those things. You'd go up. There was a stairwell going up to the 2nd floor on the back side of the school. You'd go up there and yell scramble, and you would take all your cards, and kids would all gather underneath, and you'd fling them all out into the air.
That sounds like a shitty game.
No, it wasn't a game. It was, just returning stuff to the to the brethren.
I would almost think that that's the kind of game the bully would play right before he stuck your head in the toilet. Is he would scramble your cards and not his.
Yeah, no, I never recall any kids that mean at my school, possibly because most of us were all psychopaths to begin with, and it was not probably a good thing to do. You'd have to be a super bully to get away with really bad, mean shit.
This is an expensive piece of paper. But basically, you'd have one person sitting here and one person sitting here, and this side of the mat was basically the marketer, and these were the shooters. So basically, all the shooters lined up on this side, and then the marketers would sit here and sort of take a space, and you'd sit with your legs out like this. Luckily, the marbles were small, right? And you'd sit there and you'd propose a deal like, these are my feet, right? So the marble is here, and I would put 2 marbles down, and I would say, if you hit one, you get them both. Like, basically, I built my marble empire. If you were at, you know what it was a lot like? It was a lot like the Stampede, where you have those carnival things. And my game was, I put 2 spiders, if you know what a spider is, right here. And the kids from where here, if I said, if you hit one, you get them both, and the kids would shoot like 20 marbles trying to win my 2 spiders. And sometimes they'd shoot spiders trying to win spiders. Like, what are you doing? And I ended up having like this whole bucket full of marble because I offered such a shitty deal. I think what happened was there's long lineups to all the other games. Like, oh, if you hit this once, it's yours or something. If I said, if you hit one of these 2, but they were tiny as well. So it was a crappy deal. And it was just the only game in town that never had a lineup, which meant I never was busy. And this was my niche market of offering like the worst opportunity to win a marble. And kids would come by while they were bored and take a few shots and lose like 6 marbles trying to win 2 marbles. And like I said, they often shot the same marbles at them. Like I could have put shooters down there. Like, yeah, here's 5 shooters. And if you hit one, you get them all. But I collected it. And I ended up building my marble empire twice. I started with about 5 marbles. I lost my marbles. Paul approached me after I lost my marbles and said he'd been trying to get me in his ring anyways. And I was like, no, I think I'll do my own. Like, he offered me his
He was Jabba the Hutt.
He was offering you a part of the business. Yeah, there you go.
Straight up said, you're the only other kid that's got marbles, and now I want you to work for me. Like, there was a pitch. He was like, listen here, see?
I'll make you an offer.
You lost all your marbles, see? So now you work for me. It was one of those moments. And then that was that. Okay, so you guys don't know Paul. However, Paul's in my new book. Oh, Theo, you know Paul.
Paul's in your new book. What part of the book did he arrive in? I can't remember.
He's a pretty flat character. You don't learn much. You learn more about Todd than Paul. But the other way I met Paul was we had a trampoline at school. And it was like a bad idea. It was around halfway in the gym, and on the side of the wall was that climbing thing that kind of went up.
Yep.
And the climbing thing was folded up against the wall because they used to do that. And then there was the rope climb, and they had the rope climb out and the climbing thing not out, and the trampoline, and we're all taking turns on different activities. And Paul had this idea. Now the ropes, one was about 4 feet off the floor. One was about 1 foot off the floor, and the other one almost touched the floor. Like, the ropes were all different lengths. The lowest rope didn't have a knot. The other ropes had more and more knots. Paul was on the climber on the wall and had every intention of swinging like Tarzan off the climber, like up near the ceiling, past the floor, letting go and bouncing onto the trampoline. And he was trying to get somebody to hand him the rope. And what he recognized was the shortest rope he probably could have swung from, but because he was so far away from the ropes, he was reaching for his friends to hand him the longest rope. And I kept trying. I was like stuck. I was like, Paul, stop. It'd be like Felix watching somebody about to die. I was like, it took everything I had because I didn't have the words while they're throwing the rope up to him to try and explain that the rope was only like 6 inches off the floor when it was hanging straight, right? If he could have held the end of the rope from the top of the climber, he would have swung face first into the ground and gone to the hospital. And I don't remember where the gym teacher was at this point, but I do remember probably Paul had been planning this all class. And when the gym teacher left the room, maybe somebody fell off the trampoline and they were trying to do like first aid or something. But Paul was doing all of his might trying to get somebody to swing the somebody to swing the rope to him. And I finally got through to him that he was going to kill himself on this maneuver. And if you talk to him now, he'll tell you he had the intention of climbing the rope while he was swinging, but he did not.
Mm,
He did not think it
trick.
through.
That would be Cirque du Soleil. Good.
Yeah, and if he made it to the trampoline, his trajectory would have taken him all the way to the other basketball net. What I also remember about this,
that would be cool, ending up yourself in a basketball net, though.
yeah, and what I remember about this gym the most, at St. Mark's, was the farthest rope away from both walls. So that there was one rope right next to one of the walls. It kind of one rope was about 2 or 3 feet away from the wall and 10 feet away from the other wall.
Mm-hmm.
The other rope was 6 feet away from the wall and 10 feet away from the other. The farthest rope was about 10 feet away from the wall and 10 feet from the other wall. And one of the things we could do was, and this is only when the climber was out, you could run around in a circle with the rope and swing, and your feet would just touch the 2 walls. You could run along the walls with your feet holding onto the rope and pick up speed to go round and round. And I have dreams about this all the time. Why am I talking?
There we go.
If I was listening to me right now, and I've never even seen Family Guy, but I did see this one clip where, what's the guy from Family Guy?
Pete?
Pete goes, "Who the hell cares?" Here's another funny thing. I remember about 5 years ago, one of my students was supposed to draw a self-portrait. And I asked him to draw a self-portrait. And then he handed his book in. And I said to him, this isn't really what I'm looking for. And I guess he kind of got upset and went home and told his parents that he was crying. He didn't want to do art anymore. And the parent called and just reamed me out, explaining to me, listen, when you're an art teacher, you don't discourage kids. You just praise them and tell them you don't need to break their spirits. And I was really like, whoa, that sounds not like me, because my teaching philosophy isn't really about pointing out what they do wrong. It's about just encouraging them to keep going. And so I was kind of baffled why I would have given this kid the impression that I didn't like his self-portrait. And so I went back to school the next morning. The first thing I did was dug out his sketchbook. I opened up his self-portrait. We'd been in school for about 2 months, and he had one drawing of Stewie. I'm like, okay, if that's your self-portrait, I think there's a problem, and that was exactly what it was, is that he drew Stewie and said it was a self-portrait, and then he was mad at me because I didn't like it.
You're just being silly, yeah, and then you're like, no.
But I took him seriously. And
that's what I mean. It's
right?
You're being silly, but I'm taking you seriously.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot, actually. I've been waiting for her to get my camera back.
Oh, where's your camera now? Oh, getting cleaned.
With a guy named Gary. He only works weekends. Doesn't work weekends. Right. Seems like a really nice guy. But it just so happened that right after we went back to work, after having a month on strike, I realized I needed to get my range finder tidied up. And, and the only guy in the world that does it doesn't work weekends. I was like, oh, that's really timely on my part. So Jess had to borrow a car to take my camera in.
You did it.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't finish what I was saying before. Do you remember I was talking about how I get anxious a little bit about which car we're going to drive if I retire, in a few years? Mm-hmm. I also had the thought today that I don't know if I'll be able to afford Photoshop when I'm not a teacher anymore, because right now I get it on a teacher rate.
Oh, right.
And I don't know if they have a rate for people that aren't
teachers.
Although I don't think we've had to prove myself as a teacher at any point.
I think we did at the beginning, and then it just kind of renews.
Right.
Maybe teaching is like alcoholism. Once a teacher, always a teacher.
Sounds reasonable.
Right?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm an alcoholic anymore.
Huh.
I think I could go back to drinking just some of the time. Also, I really wish that they would call non-alcoholic drinks alcoholic drinks, because I'd be way less embarrassed to say, "Can I have an alcoholic drink?" Because I'm an alcoholic and I need one that doesn't have alcohol. I actually don't think I am an alcoholic, though. Are you? It's hard to know. I think we stopped maybe before we were alcoholics. We were well on our way. And I do think maybe like the normalcy of alcohol makes it difficult to sort of distinguish what an alcoholic is, because you can be highly addicted to alcohol long before you decide to give it up. And then you wouldn't really know where you stood, right? But we didn't like go into like the DTs or anything. Did we?
Never missed a school day.
No, detox. Did we? I don't remember detoxing from alcohol.
I was
Wasn't like
very angry. Is that like that?
cultural.
I'm just always angry.
Kind of Eastern Bloc. Is Hungarian Eastern Bloc?
No, they're kind of something different.
Used to be.
What?
Used to be.
It's like interesting because I guess I was looking more from the language, because I was wondering about and I was also like looking into the root of different sewing traditions.
Yeah.
And they're actually closer tied. There's like the weirdest combination of things they're tied to linguistically is this one mountain range in northern Russia, and then Finnish.
Yeah.
And Siberia. No, not Siberia is the northern Russia. Persia. So there's like these triplicate of directions that like.
Yeah. Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
It's funny that your family is very, very passionate about your Hungarian background, because I think of all cultures, other than the Turkish, the Hungarian people were the biggest mystery to me. Like when I was a kid and we learned about Poland, that was kind of on the edge of what mattered.
Well, because you knew people who were Polish, or
what I'm saying is like because of the biases in my family.
Oh yeah.
There was basically like Wales, on my mom's side, and Canada on my dad's side.
Right.
Even my dad's side wasn't particularly interested in being French, so they were like they saw themselves as French Canadian. But outside of outside of Wales, and also this is another weird thing. My mom called herself British most of my life, and then out of the blue, my Uncle John and my mom became Welsh. Like it was kind of like I don't ever talk about being Albertan until like it became an issue that I might not be Albertan. Now it matters, but I never think of myself as an Albertan. And your mom has an Alberta flag, which is a bit of like a shock to me, because I'm like I never think about being Albertan. I also I know I live in Calgary. I'm a little resistant to be labeled as a Calgarian.
You're more like worldly because you've been in BC, and
I'm hardly not worldly, but like
Canadian. You're more Canadian.
Well,
than maybe
I grew up in
Calgary.
BC and Alberta for sure.
Yeah.
My family's been in Alberta for 8 generations, and my family's been in Canada on my dad's side for 10 generations. My mom came here in 1967. So, but I also I'm trying to say I never thought of my mom being Welsh until I was older, because she used to talk about being British. And somewhere along that line, they stopped being English and they started being Welsh. And also my dad was kind of anti-French when I was a kid. That's why I don't speak French. And then when I was a teenager, he randomly sort of switched back to being French again. Okay, here's a funny thing. I'm not entirely sure what my dad's name is, because he either was R-E-Y and became R-A-Y, or he was R-A-Y and changed it. Did I say that the right way?
Yeah.
But at some point, he changed it from the French spelling to an English spelling.
Renault, right?
I think it's R-E-Y, isn't it?
Yeah, Renault.
Yeah. And he changed to R-A-Y to simplify things. And I remember him talking about that, but I didn't really know why that mattered.
Or what's simpler about it.
Right. And also, when I was at my grandmother's house one time, I looked at his birth certificate and his name's Joseph. I'm like, what the hell? And
Tell Joseph.
but he said all French Canadian boys were named Joseph, so you'd be named Joseph Renaud Theodore Louis Theroux, and my uncle was Joseph Reginald Theodore Louis Theroux, and actually he's Reginald Francis.
There you go.
And so I know my uncle's middle name, but I don't know how to spell my dad's name. Is that silly?
I'm so satisfied by this.
Yeah, I'm glad.
It's making me really happy.
Yeah, you want to put it on screen?
I also really love listening to your stories while focusing on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, someone has to.
And I'm working on perfecting the ridges so I can
Let's go ruffles.
play with them when they're dry. It would be very fun.
What's your plan for the hulling of that? Just gonna let it.
I was thinking of putting, because look, there's a lot of clay in the back that I can clean off.
Yeah.
But I can do like a hole so I can hang it.
Yeah.
But it would also be nice. I might clean out the back so it's like also like something in the back that you can hold and just kind of move around in your hand.
Okay.
I want it to be tactile because it's like Scott was talking about his story about the marbles. He put a bunch of his 1920s and 30s marbles in a medicine cabinet in a bathroom to catch Snoopy people. And they rolled all over the place when they opened the cabinet.
That's brutal.
I probably deserved my marbles being stolen. Oh, Scott.
Yeah, I would die. I would die if I pulled those marbles out.
Just quick.
Is it something about being trusted in somebody's bathroom that makes you want? Like, I don't even care what's in the corner. I just want to snoop for the sake of snooping. Or are you a snooper? Tell me the truth. You kind of freaked out watching that Marilyn Monroe movie.
I was going to say, when I was little, I was definitely a snooper.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you hum to yourself?
Like to calm my nerves.
I don't know why I said that.
That's really interesting. Did you hum to yourself?
I didn't snoop. I don't understand snooping. My sister snooped. She hummed. I don't think she wouldn't have snooped in front of me because whenever she snooped, she would find things and then tell me to go look at them. And I'd be like, I don't want to see. And I don't think she would have snooped or hummed while I was like being dragged in to see whatever she found. But was Marilyn Monroe humming when she was snooping?
Maybe. Yeah, she was maybe humming to herself to the music.
I guess like if I was spying, I would be doing dun 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 dun. But I think to me, when I try and visualize somebody snooping, maybe I've seen it in movies, but aren't they going dum de dum de dum
Yeah.
dum de dum dum de dum? And is that like stimming? Like you shouldn't be snooping, so you're using a voice to try and calm yourself, or
kind of? It's kind of maybe like
no. M. Do you know what that is? No. Generation gap. Theo.
Yo.
No. W. Do you know what that is?
W. No, I don't.
Oh.
Well, let's put it this way. In the 70s, did not have a television.
Amanda, if you're out there, no. S. I'm alone.
I'm alone.
Was this a Sesame Street thing?
Yeah, it is.
I was going to ask if it was Sesame Street. That's funny.
I'm going to find it. And I'm going to break copyright.
Oh, my goodness.
Are we going to be able to see Sesame Street on Netflix soon?
Yeah.
Are we?
I think so.
I've got a whole bunch of seasons on DVDs.
That's nice.
All right. Did you know that those were all Jim Henson movies? He was not just a puppeteer; he was like animating and being. Want to see another one? Nobody else, just me. Here we go. V.
No, 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 no. Me. Vacuum.
Do you see why this is so important?
Oh.
Hey. Airplane.
Do-do-do-do.
I'm doing that all weekend.
Do-do-do-do.
No, 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 no.
Whee! Bazinga. Oh my god. I'm so satisfied.
Thea, should I let you? Thea, I know you. You're gonna say I should leave this the way it is, right?
What's this?
Should I leave this the way it is?
Well, it works that where I
No.
look at it and I immediately want to add a blob of color someplace, like a yellow.
You're not wrong. Let's do that.
You're not wrong.
Can I borrow these?
Oh, of course.
Okay. Yeah, I was tempted to draw a figure because I'm obsessed. This is Jesse's paints.
They're such nice blocks.
No. Yellow.
Gee! Gouache!
Yay!
I don't think Felix is coming over this weekend.
Oh, like at all?
Well, he was going to stay at the thing, and then Shauna asked if he could stay home.
He's just such a much wanted friend, hey?
Yeah.
That'd be like a
He's
nice
a popular guy.
popular guy, hey? I love that. I love that for him.
I don't.
I like that he's always wanted. Like everyone wants to be with him. I like that.
I'd like to teach the world to sing perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. Was that ever a song independent of the? Was it
The real song did say I like to buy the Coke.
really? Who wrote the real song? It must be Canadian.
Is that the Coke ad?
Well, we're just talking about whether it was or not. Was it something else first? Is anybody but me having a deja vu?
That I became cognizant of something like that, and I think it was the Expo '67 song. At least there was one that was associated with it, and I think it was Coke.
Mm. There was in Calgary a song called "Hello Calgary," and I was looking at like one of those like how do you describe it? One of those nostalgic websites about Calgary had it up as like, do you guys remember when we had our own song? And everyone's like, oh, that's amazing. And they're all speculating about where it came from. And I knew that the answer was that was just a song that every city repurposed for whatever newscast got to it first.
Yep.
Makes no difference where I go. You're the best hometown I know. Hello, Sudbury. Hello, Sudbury. Channel 12 and 13 love you.
Okay, this is interesting. I'd like to buy the world a home. They made the actual full-length song from the commercial song, not the other way around. And it was 1971.
Who made it?
Billy Davis was the writer.
Yeah.
The original commercial was for Coke. The song was developed into a full-length song by songwriter Billy Davis.
Mm-hmm.
The lyrics have changed from "I'd like to buy the world a Coke" to "I'd like to build the world a home" for the song's radio release.
There we go. That's what it was. It was a Coke ad to begin with.
First, That's crazy. And then the artist, this song became a hit for both the New Seekers and the Hillside Singers.
I hate the Hillside Singers.
You do not.
I don't know
I
who
bet you don't even know who they are. I don't.
I don't even know who they are.
Oh, you guys are.
Basically, everything I hate are things I don't know, though.
Oh, there you go.
And they're also pretend.
Oh.
They're real people, but it's pretend hate. Because I don't hate anybody.
I was gonna say that's funny. You're just
I
being
do
silly.
hate a few things.
You're just being silly.
I do actually have hate for, and I'm not proud of it, but I do have some hate.
I think it's human. And
Do you want to know who?
let's keep it positive. Do you want to talk about who?
Well, I could tell you.
I kind of know.
I think I hate Jordan Peterson.
Anybody who like makes it okay to be hateful.
Yeah, I can't say I like Donald Trump.
That's like anyone who
Well,
made
that's encouraging, because if anyone does like Donald Trump, you don't want to know them.
yeah, exactly.
So I was on strike from teaching, and I came across a Alberta website, and I'm not going to repeat the name, but it's an Alberta person who perpetuates a lot of this stuff, and has built a name brand on.
Ooh, would that be the a guy named starts with an E and
No,
no?
way less formal. It's more like just a guy with a social media account, but he's shot up to like 1 million viewers, and he is quite
Hateful.
unpleasant, I find. Now, he was commenting on the teachers, was how he caught my attention. But he was also like reading out conversations from his daughter's experience with her teacher, and sort of like explaining how he was going to demand a series of corrective actions so that she doesn't get exposed to this bigotry again. And the thing he was upset about was the teacher had made a negative comment about Donald Trump that he didn't appreciate. And I think probably what happened there is, and this is kind of a shock to me, because for the last 14 years or so, it feels like there was a lot of people that did like Donald Trump, and speaking negatively about Donald Trump was kind of a 50-50 argument. Like, you might say, I don't like Donald Trump. I wrote that I didn't like Donald Trump during his last reign of terror on Facebook, and one of the people that came to figure drawing like corrected me publicly, saying that I had no right to talk about that since I was running public space, and now he didn't feel comfortable coming to figure drawing anymore. I'm like, you have my permission to never come to figure drawing again, if it helps you in any way.
Because
But
we're running a safe place, and that guy's not safe.
well, no, it wasn't even that. It's like, I'm not chasing you. Like, I don't
Yeah.
care if you come, and like, I don't care if you feel alienated because I don't like Donald Trump. I'm not saying you can't like Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I said I'm protecting my right to not like Donald Trump, and he felt like since I ran an art gallery, I should be neutrally buoyant
You
towards.
should be neutral. Yeah. No.
I never felt that obligation.
No.
But after Trump and his trade wars, it seems like a lot of people that used to hate Trump started calling him the orange
Cheeto
something. And I even saw like some of my like conservative friends that were really pro-Trump right up until he got elected again. Like they were thrilled that Daniel Smith went to go see him. They thought she was on point for his inauguration. And then he started with the trade war, and then they were calling him the giant Cheetos. And I'm like, I'm going to just go take a peek and see if you deleted all your pro-Trump comments. And they 100% did. Go back and delete all the support they had for Trump once he started. I overdid it, but I kind of like it.
Yeah. Oh, well, the first time I ever heard of Donald Trump, which was back in the early 80s, I disliked the guy.
Yeah.
And I've never had a reason to change that opinion. Although he's given me lots of reasons to thoroughly despise the man now.
Deep in it, yeah.
I remember watching an interview with Candice Bergman. Candice Bergen?
Candace Bergman,
Bergman,
I think.
Yeah.
who had a famous father. Did you know that?
Yeah.
What was her father's name? She's a Napo baby.
I
Anyways,
can't remember, but I do remember.
She was talking about having gone out on a date with Donald Trump. Now, I think
No.
when she was young, and
Whoa,
before
that's who he goes for. Just kidding. Whoa.
before I think maybe he was more of a normality at the time. Like
No, never was. Everything I've read about him, he's been a POS.
Woody Guthrie wrote a song about his dad. So what chance did he have?
Yep.
What was it? Yeah, Woody Guthrie.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna just check something here though. What did Candace Bergman say about dating Donald? Because I could be totally wrong. She went on a blind date when she was Donald Trump when she was 18 years old. She remembers that he showed up in a three-piece burgundy suit and burgundy patent leather boots and a burgundy limousine. The date was very short. She said it was home. She's home by 9 p.m. There was no physical contact. She described everything, the evening as a dud, meaning it, yeah. She said he was good looking, but also called him a douche.
Good.
Which I think is disrespectful to douche.
Right.
She didn't remember much of the date. I wonder, those are funny how those things happened, eh? Kind of like how Harper Lee and the guy that wrote Breakfast at Tiffany's, what was his name? He also wrote but they were friends when they were kids.
Oh yeah, I remember.
In fact, her description of one of her characters is very much like him. Truman Capote.
Yeah.
They went to school together. That's actually not that crazy because they probably...
Ingmar Bergman.
Is that true?
Scott asked.
Is he asking?
I checked it. It was Ingmar Bergman.
Is that a man or a woman?
Man.
Okay, that would explain a lot. I'm going to change the character in my book's name to Ingmar. Ingmar?
Ingmar. Okay. This is my...
But I do think it's more socially acceptable all round to be negative towards Donald Trump because it's not a personal attack on people being Republicans anymore. It's also, does it seem to me like maybe Republicans should be Democrats and Democrats should be Republicans?
Oh,
Nope.
Like the words?
Yeah, the words don't match up. Kind of like cucumbers and zucchinis.
Also conservative. I guess maybe they're conserving the old ways. But the idea of being a conservator of the earth is
conservative, like as in like
if you conserve water
oil,
and you conserve
oil tankers and stuff.
But that I understand, yeah.
That's funny. I never thought of that.
Mm-hmm.
You make a good point. Also, like spending money lately. They're all over spending money. There seemed to be no limited amount for recalls until it was directed toward themselves. Am I being negative again?
Let's talk about art.
No, you're making an observation. That's all.
I'm an observationalist.
Yep. There we go.
I'm on to my next thing. My last movement was called inclusionism. And most of what I was doing with my life for the last 12 years was building a sense of inclusion. And I came up with a new plan. It actually has, there is an existing manifesto for what I want to focus on.
Uh-huh.
And it made perfect sense the other day, but because when I tried it out, I realized, oh, this already exists. I could either I don't think I would modify an existing movement, but I need to rename it because somebody had used that name. Do you remember what it was, Jesse?
I'm thinking. It's a
Obviously,
really good word.
obviously not that important.
No, it is that important. I was just tired.
What
This
was
has
it though?
been a hard week.
There's a couple times when I've had really great ideas and didn't write them down lately.
Because it just seems so good, and then you're like,
Felix was in the car, and he'd called me something which I thought would make a great title.
I wrote that one in my phone.
Yeah, do you remember what it was?
It's in my phone.
I remember. I spent a week trying to remember what it was, and it finally struck me. I think I was on the show talking about like it's the impossible Rich T. Roux, right? Because it's both a compliment and an insult. Like, Rich, you're impossible, or it's impossible that I exist, in both manners. A man called intrepid, a man called impossible.
Inclusionism, and then you were saying it was something. Was it like authenticity, or
I was shifting away from inclusion and towards something different.
it was more to like authenticity?
Did you write it in your
like,
phone?
I didn't write that word in my phone. I wrote the impossible Rich T. Roux.
No, but do you remember what my new philosophy was going to be based on?
No.
I forget to.
And like you said, it was
an I word. That's too bad.
impetus. And
Impetus. No.
Igniter.
No. But it was really at the core of what I was interested in doing next.
It was like the photographers that you were looking at.
Does it have to do with recording somehow?
Like most of my life recently has just been trying to remember where I put things and what was spoken about. I understand what you say, Theo, when you're like, nope, brain's not braining. And I like that you're just like, say it. Then you don't spend hours like.
Yeah, if it's lost, it's lost. It'll either come back or it won't.
Yeah, exactly. Better way to live. Instigators? Something. No, because it was an ism, I think.
It wasn't individualism.
I was thinking in instigator.
No, it wasn't that either.
Scott Blaskin, a decade. He texted you.
Intentional.
Intentionalism. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
We should write that down.
I'm gonna write that down.
But it was about moving towards focusing on building with intention.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was something that might have been a little bit, overlooked. The intentionality of what I was doing, or what I'm doing right here. There's no intention to this. I was just playing. And that's fine. Playfulness is fine. But
we're moving towards intentionality in other aspects, though. Like you play, and then the play turns intentional, and then the act turns intentional. It's kind of like learning.
Well, I'm really working towards, and I just cut you off, and I apologize.
No, I'm like
living intentionally, living with. I think before we were really focusing on being authentic.
Mm-hmm.
So even inclusionism could have been called authenticism, because our goal had been to be authentic through inclusion. Inclusion was a way to enhance the authenticity of what we're working on. Right. And then it's not a battle to be authentic anymore.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing to say, but I think maybe at one point it was. Right. And actually we would often dive into things that we weren't authentic about, right? Like, oh, we don't know anything about puppets, so let's make a movie in theaters. Or we were sort of intentionally diving into inauthentic things, trying to create authentic moments out of inauthentic relationships. Does that make sense? Yes, no?
Yes, yeah.
And so it didn't always leave room to be intentional when we're focusing almost wholeheartedly on being authentic. And so, especially like as we're moving into photography, I'm really interested in moving away from anything that's easy and moving towards things that are highly intentional. Like I gave away a couple cameras because they had automatic options, you know, and when there's a wolf attacking you and you can shoot on automatic aperture, it's hard to take the time to get a reading for your f-stop, you know. Whereas like once I shed myself of the possibility of using the autofocus. Well, it's not autofocus because we've always we don't even know the names for these things. It's like we kind of make asses out of ourselves at the camera store because we're spending a lot of money as though we know what we're doing, but we're also like fumbling for words because it's almost like when people learn words from reading and they don't know how to pronounce them. We're sort of photo fools at the camera store. W. Hello? Hi. Good. Hey, can you mute the scratching? Jeff?
Oh yeah.
Are you
So I'm just gonna
just phoning to say hi, or are you being at Jack Pike right now? Oh, are you watching the live feed? Oh God! When I said new W, did you know what I was talking about? Jeez, nobody. How am I the only person that knows that?
Well, I was gonna say is once you played it, it made sense, but I think maybe it really.
Galen didn't know either.
It really stuck to you.
Hey, Galen, when you retire, are you gonna sub for me? Well, it's all the way out in Cochrane. Yeah, no, that's fair. I was just saying to Jess she should take more sick days and to take care of herself. But I never take sick days because it's so much work explaining to people what I do. And then I thought, oh, if Galen retired, I could bring a sub in and just talk to him like, oh yeah, there's this one kid, if you tell him to do something differently, he'll give up for 6 months. But there's this other kid that if you don't tell him what to do, he'll freak out and start throwing chairs. None of the kids are like that, but I'm just saying, like, I could give you a little heads up before we get started. You know what I didn't do with you? You're the only person I didn't send my pictures of the early development stages to. That's weird. I don't mean like my early development. I mean like the
That's
early
weird.
stages of the developing we're doing with the film. Did I send you any of those? Oh, it's been pretty fun, but I know every time I show you photo stuff, you go, I like digital. Yeah. How long have you been using digital? Okay. I am realizing in this particular... Sorry. Okay. And then you've upgraded to a proper digital camera though, right? Okay.
Proper.
Does it shoot film though? Okay. What does SLR stand for?
Single lens reflex.
Jess knows. She just said single lens what?
Reflex?
Okay. Here's where I started is and I was just gonna look this up because I was telling Jess about it the other day, but then I realized it's so long ago I forget. I started shooting on Super 8 film in when I was in grade 5, and so then I had to do all the light meters and all that, and then I did have in my Super 8 camera, it was a Kodak. I did have a what's it called? I had a little red marker that told me when the light was good. What's that called? I'm just tired.
Aperture?
Yeah, it had a light meter in my
Light meter.
it had a light meter in my Kodak Super 8 film camera. And then I was so thrilled when video came along, but I think I spent a decade as a kid from about grade 5 till I was probably from about 15 to 25 I was jonesing for a video camera so hard. And then, because then I could shoot unlimited, like 3 minutes of Super 8 was 6 months of waiting for development. And then the idea of being able to just do 2 hours of experimentation with my video camera was just crazy. But I don't think I got a video camera until Robin was born. I got my first digital camera. Like the resolution was kind of like that of a Tamagotchi. Is that the right way to say it?
Tamagotchi?
Tamagotchi. And I'm trying to remember what the I'm gonna ask you what was the resolution on the first digital cameras in the, I think it was early 90s. Early 90s I got one. Maybe late 90s. I'm going to say mid 90s. Mid 90s. Yeah, me too. Okay, that's my camera. That's fun. I had a digital camera. Oh, I had that one too. That's crazy. Just a second.
Okay.
Crazy.
This is going to sleep now.
It's not giving me the resolution though. But literally, like the pixels in my first digital camera was about the size of a grain of salt. Like screen resolution was 72 dpi, but I think it was like maybe 50 dpi. They were big pixels and they were super slow and the colors were just ass. But I think because I've been using digital for digital for maybe 20 years. Is that right? 30 years. That's why it's so nice for me to switch back to film. Well, it depends if you want the camera or the picture, right? And what I found is like we put a Kodak Ektar in Felix's hand. Jess, I purchased a very old Leica for her. Got my hands on a Leica. And so we're just walking around with the cameras, and really it's got nothing to do with the photos we're actually taking so much as you go for a walk with your family and you start to see what the people in your family want to stop and take pictures of. So I'm looking at the world at her through her eyes while she's taking the pictures and when the photos come back. And we just realized we've only been 30. She's been shooting 35 millimeter for 2 years now, and I think I moved to 35 millimeter last Christmas. So I'm not even a year into it, and but it's like right now I'm getting my camera fixed, and I feel like I just want to lay down and die. And I have a camera, I just don't have the one I want. What? Did you ever develop your own film? Yeah. Are you talking about just making the negatives, or are you talking about printing? Because I was shocked at how easy it was, and I was shocked at how much nicer my negatives looked than they do at the lab. I thought there'd be a steep learning curve, and we were like blown away by the quality of the negatives. The only thing is we're not set up to print. Can you grab the canister and the tank?
Yeah.
I just started a photography club. So once a roll, we're going to mail photos to each other. I got a couple people involved. Actually, strangely enough, I called Felix's stepdad to ask if he wanted to borrow my other camera because I wanted to get rid of my cameras that had the auto option. No, they're all manual focus, but auto lighting. Here, and then, but I wanted to get rid of them because I found as soon as I got rid of those. Do we happen to have like a long piece of film that I can tinker with? So this is what happens. Did you have one of these? All right, so the interesting thing is, maybe I'll switch the screen over. My uncle had a dark room when I was a kid, and I thought that was wicked cool. But I hate being told what to do. So I also hate reading instructions. So I had to figure out a lot of the film process myself. But basically, the first part is you need to get the film out of the little film. And then you need to load it into this. Oh no! Don't touch that. It's got ink on it. So what I find I do is I put my 2 fingers on these hooks, and then in the dark, I feed the film in, and then it catches, and then you got to just turn it like this, and then it hooks, and then it pulls it in. You do this like 100 times, and it pulls the film in, almost like your fishing rod, right? Then when it's all settled, you put this on this spool, and you drop it into put it on the spool, and you drop it into the box. You load up a second one, put that in the box. You put this baby in, and you lock it. And then you pour your chemicals in, and then you put this on, and then you turn it. And your beautiful wife tells you when to turn it again. So you wait a minute, and then you turn it again. And then you pull the negatives out, and we save like $19 on the development fees, the developing fees. And so it's like, well, we do have a scanner that scans negatives, and we've had that for about 2 years because Jess had a sprocket rocket she wanted to experiment with. And then we also have like our home printer's decent enough that it's not perfect. It's kind of okay, but we're probably going to just start collecting sheets of the negatives we want and bringing sheets in to get them printed. But our photo costs have gone from, I'm going to say, about $60 a roll to closer to
the film
$25 a roll.
Yeah.
Like to go from printed to yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for calling. Talk to you soon. Do you have a bit of a cold? Gotcha. Tally ho. Sally forth, my friend. Hey, do you want to read my book? My new one is called Silent. It's called Silent Reader. It's not published yet, though, so you got to like treat it like spy work, industrial sabotage. Yeah, I know, right? But I could use some feedback if you want to read it. Okay. Alrighty. Talk to you later. That's fun.
That was really fun.
No, watch this bugging me. How many minutes do we got?
We can stop around 9.
What time is it now?
Just about 9.
Were we overdoing it when we went 2.5 hours? I think we were.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so let's aim for 2 hours. That's a rounder number.
Mm-hmm.
If we feel like going extra long.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm sorry about this. I actually kind of like it though.
I'm not sorry for it.
Yeah, it's like we christened the table.
Mm-hmm.
When did we buy this? Last spring. Last spring we got our first piece of furniture. It's singing us a song tonight.
Well, speaking of leaving, dear ones, that's what I'm going to do. So have a wonderful, wonderful week.
Yeah, you too, Theo.
We'll talk to you soon.
Good luck with your kitties.
Yes.
Feel this.
Interesting. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
a
Have a
pewter.
good night.
Pewter knife.
Really good.
I'm gonna put it on the pewter.
Cute.
Good night, Kelly.
My brain is dead.
How about the Beatles?
Oh, that's nice.
Something in the way she moves
I don't know the words. Sorry, my again.
attracts me like no other lover.
Something in the way she moves me. Don't wanna leave her now. No, I believe in how. Do, 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 do. You're asking me, will my love grow? I don't know. I don't know. You look around now, you may show. I don't know. I don't know.
Are you singing?
Hmm?
Here, I want you to sing this.
Oh, yeah. You.
You mind?
I might not be able to hit all the notes.
Do it. Hit all the notes. What is wrong with me?
Yeah.
Here we go. Once there was a way.
Once there was a way to get back homeward. Once, where did I start?
Once there was a way to get back home. Sleep, little darling, now do not cry.
And I will sing a lullaby. Golden slumbers fill your eyes. Smiles awake you when you rise. Sleep, pretty darling, do not cry. And I will sing a lullaby.
Boy, you are going to carry that weight for very long.